Boys, we on. Boys, we're on. We're on. Welcome back. I'm a little bit late. Shit. Better tell the fam. Shit. Wish I knew how to link people to this fucking broadcast, man. Maybe, yeah, I'll do this. Copy. Cool. Alright, fucking. Is this even working? Yeah, I don't know. I really should record this and chuck it up as a potty. Alright, let's just do that. So that way if people want to join, they can. And if then I'm still adding value. This game sucks. Mate, it can absolutely suck at times, but if it was easy, it wouldn't be rewarding. That's the thing. You gotta ride those lows, mate, so that when you get a few wins or you get a championship finally, it just feels absolutely epic. In your case, though, you sort of drafted really well, so it's a bit unfortunate that you're just sort of doing the luck thing, mate, doing the luck dance. But yeah, you roll the Tommy dice, and you sort of have to cop that, unfortunately. Yeah, sorry, mate. At least you're learning a lot, so when you do join a more competitive or engaging league, you can convert and make something of it. Coley, how's the quality? Like, I'm just trying to do two things at once, like a massive drain on my net, so I'm just not sure if it's gonna butcher this, but I'm here to answer any of your questions if you can hear me. I was going to record this. Oh, it's good? Oh, sweet. All right, let's smash this out. I'm going to record this one and see if I can pull off a cheeky... Just for people who can't make it, I'll record it and chuck it on Spotify. But yeah, I'm going to run through these teams real quick, but Hiroti comes in at centre. I don't really think he's really worth it. Maybe for a 1 week play if you're desperate, but the Raiders could be pretty staunch at home on a Thursday night. Yeah, Hero owners you're holding, I'd be trying to buy low. I think he's going to finish in the top 5 CT dubs when the season's all said and done. Tamale finally did a little bit more. Savage hit some upside, but don't get baited. I think KO Week's sort of cheeky buy low or a waiver stash if in a deep league if he's been dropped or whatnot. I think there's better things to come, and his value cannot get any lower, but that's a risk. That's just a risk. I'm just thinking out loud. Really deep leagues, Owen Paddy's worth a stash. I think Starling's trending in the wrong direction a little bit. So that's on that game. The next game is Panthers Cows. Obviously, if you didn't see, anyone listening, the first matchup preview came out on YouTube last week. Some of the data came through in the clutch, like Terrell May had a gun matchup and he popped off. So super sick to see the data convert. It wasn't always good news, obviously, because it's so early and it's just literally statistics. Laurie comes back in. That was always going to happen. People were thinking he wasn't going to get named again. The only issue is whether old mate is he even on the extended? Oh, he's not even ready yet. Fucking what's his face? Dylan Edwards. So yeah, Dane was sick last year. They're not going to let one bad half bloody be a reason to drop him. Jenkins is, I told you last week, but yeah, he's a pickup, 100%. Casey, 1 week play, maybe more. Jesse here is interesting. I wonder what Jesse McLean, he's sort of on the outers there. He must be just not doing something, because you don't drop Casey and bring him right back in if Jesse's not close. On the other side, look, the Cowboys suck, but Derby eventually I think is going to have relevance in really deep leagues. I think actually the left edge is looking really good. That's the Purdue Talangi edge, so really deep leagues. I think they're rosterable. But yeah, I think Drinky eventually, surely he gets going right again. Surely Clifford opens that up with his running game. Clifford, if you're desperate at half, for sure. Not too much to it. Surely Cotter turns things around. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking surely. Robson, I expect to improve. He started running finally at the weekend, which is good. Schneider, I'd hate to see Schneider come in for my boy Jack Cole, but it could happen. Jenkins over Shiba, I'm going to drop Stone Street. One of them, I think Stoney's just going to be living this. Potentially, yeah. I don't know. I think he's better than Katoa, but I don't know. Like with it's more the Ramian issue. But yeah, I think Jenkins over Shiba just for me. But they've totally got both of them have value. If it's in Classic Jenkins, in draft, yeah, I can't. It's a coin flip. But I think the Broncos have a good run coming up, which could be more important. But then again, so do the Panthers, and Cleary's back. Don't know. That's a tough one there. It's a coin flip. Great question, Ryan. That's a really good question. Is Jake Clifford worth grabbing if it means dropping Isaiah Katoa? Katoa's been scoring pretty well. Don't chase Clifford's double, but the thing with Clifford is he does have a good running game and he does have good base, but Katoa runs the show. I've always not minded Clifford. Let's have a quick look on Supercoach stats. Just get a feel. Did Clifford even get a run last year? Like he went 49-69. Yeah, I think just that alone, look, like when he didn't even score a try. The try was a 120. Yeah, I think the creation, I like that. I like the look of that. So yeah, jump on Clifford, I think, Ryan. Yeah. Katoa wasn't good last year. He's been scoring well this year, a little bit at times. And yeah, look, like that's pretty abysmal. Averaging 4, that's terrible. Yeah, I think I'd grab Clifford, Ryan. No, it's a pleasure, mate. Thanks for joining in. What was I doing? Yeah, this game. Yeah, it's a full coin flip, Coley, mate. The Jenkins Shiba, like it could go either way. They're both centers. They both have sick base. Jenkins Shiba. Yeah, just me. I'd have more fun watching Jenkins. I like watching Panthers, but yeah, I can't tell you which one does better. Like who knows? Honestly, like Shibasaki has just never been relevant. 49, 50, 33, 29 until this year. Jenkins similarly, but we've seen Jenkins in 2023, mate. I think he ran out a few times that year. 5 games, yeah, and averaged 74. Who's the most likely? I think Shibasaki at this point. No, actually, I don't know about that. I think Jenkins is cool. I think Jenkins is good for quite a while. I think they're equal. Yeah, I don't know, mate. Like, let me have a quick look. Is this going to play ball? Just have a better look at Shibasaki this year. 83 with a try, 116 with 2 tries, 60, 34. The 34 is what I expect. The 60's okay. 31 base. It's the tackle breaks that are just ridiculous. He's not going to do that every week. That's it. I don't know how long he keeps that up, mate. 31 base. That's fucking crazy. But maybe he's just turned the corner, but I don't know. Jenkins 34 base, 33 create. That's all taken from when he was playing fullback. But last week, 49 in base is crazy. Yeah, with To'o back, I think. Yeah, I think Alamotti on a wing, To'o on a wing, Tungo, Jenkins, Edwards fullback, Laurie goes to the bench. Yeah, I think they're equal security. Mate, just if you want to do the opposite to what I say, like I like Jenkins, I just personally do. I don't know, there's just something about him. I'm just someone who believes in, I guess, historical data to an extent. Like I've seen Shibasaki suck, for so long. I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but I am going to tell you it's a coin flip. This is unsustainable. 56 points in evading. The tries aren't. 3 tries in 4 games. That's not unsustainable in the Broncos. They go Wests. They go Sydney. That's not a hard game. I don't know why that's red, but they go West. They go Sydney. Wars at Warriors, which is tough. Look at all these Suncorp games. It's like 4 out of the next 5. 5 out of the next 7. Penrith, South St George does toughen up a little bit. What's his finals runs? Pretty tasty. Yeah, Shibasaki. You're in a 2 CT dub league anyway. Yeah, he is, but mate, Jack Cole's been distributing nicely too. Like, Cleary plays both sides. Like, they're both going to eat. You sound like you want to go Shibasaki. Go Shibasaki. Just go for it, mate. Like, it's all good. Like, you can't really go wrong. Like, as I say, like, it's a full coin flip. Yeah, it's only short term. Go Shibasaki. He's got a good run, mate. 2 Suncorp games in a row. Goes to New Zealand, comes back for 2 Suncorp games. Noting that's the Dogs, actually, which will be really tough. But yeah, go Shibasaki, and you can laugh at me and say I was wrong. I'm not really saying not to go Shibasaki, to be clear. I'm just saying personally I will go Jenkins because I enjoy watching Penrith more. That's just me. But this isn't really sustainable to create, so don't overread that. But I think maybe the base is. That's what's crazy. Oh, it's a pleasure. I love it. No, Jenkins is good. I was here last week. You know, I was talking about Jenkins last week. I was telling people to grab him, and he delivered with a 69 without a try, like 70 points without a try last week. So I do, yeah, it's more than classic hype. But I also think Shibasaki's absolutely fine, especially because it's short term. Just go for it. Back to Broncos output. Just to be clear, Jenkins goes North Queensland, Dolphins, so 2 pretty mid teams. The Sydney, who are super inconsistent, who did beat them recently, but just FYI, like, they're inconsistent. Manly, who are without Turbo, but they're fine. Broncos, who are pretty tough, and then the Cowboys again. So Jenkins' run is pretty tasty. Suncorp. Bit of travel. Combank. Sydney, Brisbane, Sydney, Brisbane, Queensland. Yeah, to an extent, yeah. Yep. What was I doing? Yeah. So Cowboys, no, I'm just mentioning that their backline's intriguing without being convincing, to be fair. Schneider, I would hate to come in late, as I said. Jai Gray holds the spot at fullback in the next game. Rabbitohs Roosters. That's massive for Gray owners, but it could be temporary while Latrell eases back in on that calf to get him on the field, right? But not to have that running workload. But I think if there's success there, he'll maintain it. I think he's open to doing that. I think it's pretty clear how good and effective Jai Gray is for a work rate perspective. And I think if anyone can get Trell back in the centres, it's Wayne. So big boon for Trell owners if he gets that duel eventually later in the season. Potentially stays healthier, and a massive boon for people who are relying on Jai Gray. It just depends what you're dropping, Coley. Like, he's always at risk of losing his job. That's the thing. For me, like, I drafted him punting that position. Yeah, I think in that case, definitely. Like, they've got a great run, and you don't know till you know, right? Like, you play him until he doesn't have the job, but he's survived this long, Cole. So, and they've lost 3 in a row. Like, and he's been playing well the last 2 games, especially. He's played quite well. He did get a junk time try, so don't chase last week's points, but chase the 55 to 60 he can get you with a try assist, perhaps maybe a line break assist or something. Like, to me, I love owning him for paying $1 in an auction for him, and if he loses his job, I'll just go to the waiver wire and figure it out. But yeah, I think you want to slice of Penrith. They're not the team they were, but they're a good team. Cleary's back. Yo's motivated. That pack's still sick. Like, they're going to start rolling. I got a feeling like they won't be perfect. They're missing their home ground, but yeah, definitely think if it means you can play JC at fullback rather than JC at 5'8" and then like something else at fullback off the waiver that's worse, I think Cole makes a bit of sense. But yeah, back to this one. No major changes that really interest me except for Nat Butcher goes to lock while old mate has a break with his head knocks and Watson's back. I keep saying it, but Mamazelis looks really good. Yeah, no, I think it's JC, mate. Big time. Yep, definitely. I think you want to grab him. Next game, Eels Dragons. Nothing jumps out at me except Riley Smith being named. I think he's speculative in deeper leagues. I think he'll get through a little bit of work. I don't love that he hasn't really run the ball a lot from the minutes he has got, especially as an impact hooker. If you're not like really running a lot, what are you doing? So we'll just see how he goes. He's a high energy guy. He could be really good. I wouldn't like break your back and spend a high waiver. Nat Butcher's a 2-week play. Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nat Butcher. I think Siwa Wong is a short term too. Like he's still got that spot. It's gonna be interesting when they're bit more healthy, because we're loving the work rate from Wong at the moment. But yeah, Nat Butcher. Like Docker Clay will do the Watson thing. I mean, there's a risk that Steep goes to lock, or that Watson goes to lock and Docker Clay goes to hooker. But I just think without knowing, his work rate is just so crazy. I agree, Paul. You've nailed it, mate. That's my thinking too. It might not be 80, but if it's 60, it's 60 points. Like he's a demon on the work rate front. Oh, I forgot Paul Hubner's back, which is good for Classic and whatnot. That's good. Yeah, gotcha, Paul. 100%. No, you got it covered, mate. You're all over it. That's awesome. Hope it goes well for you if you do grab him. I've got to rely on Christian Tui this week in my main league. Unfortunately, having lost Dylan Lucas and now Brian To'o, my top two CT dubs, Christian Tui Pilotu comes in to my backline. So hopefully he goes well. What's the bet? He gets another 30 or something low. So that kills me. Yeah, but yeah, Riley Smith, I don't know, speculative. Tony, he's not quite there yet. Not that interested, to be fair. Nothing else in that game, really. People are like, a lot of classic hype on Dylan Egan and then a few mentions of Hamish Stewart. Just watch him. I don't know. Like, I don't think Flano is going to like put these guys up to a point where they're critical to the team. But he didn't take Egan off because he was producing. Stammer. Setting my waiver trade, reverse ladder, third pick. I can drop to Groot, Tungo, or Laurie for Robson, Takiaho, Butcher, Nanai, Clifford, Did, and Tamale RTS. Would you make any of these? Yep. Yeah, I would. Laurie has one more week in the job. As always, it depends what you need. So just with that question, I just don't quite know like what you need, but I think RTS should be owned. I think in a shallow position like 5/8 and halfback, both Clifford and Dearden should be owned if you don't have like, you know, more reliable or more like better pick, like better performers there, then those guys are solid like tier 3-4 options in that position. Robson doesn't need to be owned, but I'm thinking if it's a 10-team league, like he is probably in the top 10 hookers, even though he hasn't started that way. I think he will come around. We do see performance fluctuations in the footy, and I think he's suffering as a result of his team suffering. So if they perform better, which they could and they should and they probably will, he should uptick. So there's a lot of guys there that should be owned. Takiaho I'm not interested in. Butcher short term. Nanai I do like too. All those Cowboys guys should probably be owned if they're replacing those mediocre players, if you get me. Like I can't say much more without knowing. Even Tamale could be owned. I'm not as like desperate for Tamale. I'd take RTS over all those. So if I was to rank all those names, which is a brutal task to do live, but I'll try and do it. I think 1 RTS. I think 2 Dearden for the finals run and the positional scarcity. I think 3 Nanai because eventually he'll bounce back. Eventually, I think. 4 Clifford due to the positional scarcity in the finals run if he holds a spot, which he probably will. 5 Robson, similar. 6 Tamale. 7 Butcher, and I finish on Takiaho, who I'm just not really convinced by overall. My halves are Wishart, Galvin, and Hughes. Oh, then you don't need the halves. No, you're fine. You play Galvin in 5/8. He's absolutely brilliant. Hughes is your halfback. He'll be back anytime. And you've got Wishart to cover Hughes, so you're sweet. No, so you don't need those guys. But I would definitely drop Tango and stash RTS out of that group, mate. Or even De Groot. I think De Groot. I'm not that interested in De Groot. I think he will have moments. I just don't think he'll be a big part of a the offensive structure. They don't need a fullback to be a playmaker there necessarily. So De Groot, I'm not super high on personally. Like, I'm okay with it because he'll get dual, which is always helpful, and he'll be a fullback in the CT dub. So he does have a place in deep leagues. But yeah, I'm not overly high on him. Tungo, I don't. I think the Tungo ride ends. I think in deep leagues he's a 4th CT dub, but you hope he does something. But you don't need to roster him. Laurie, you've got one more week of, but I would probably just hold Laurie over the other guys. Sorry, that was long-winded because that's a lot for me to break down. So yeah, good luck with your pickups, but I don't think you need those halves, mate. You got epic halves. You think your team's stacked, mate, 100%. Eels, Dragons, yeah, nothing really to call out. Titans, Dolphins, I think there was nothing major here, but Lemuelu stepped in. Plath to Locke's interesting. It's short term while Tom Gilbert's out. Not that interested. Fafita's still on a bench. I'd be trying to buy Fafita, man, 100%. Like, if it wasn't my brother in my league who owned him, I would be sending trades, but my brother will not trade with me, like, no matter what I do. So I can't get him, but I would be trying to buy Fafita low because I don't care if he's on the bench all season. Eventually, it'll be 65 minutes off the bench, in my opinion, or 60. And I just think even in 60 minutes, maybe I'm like overhyping it a bit. So like, let's just say like best case, he gets a starting spot back, right? Then he's a gun. He's the best 2RF in the game, just from like not many 2RFs can go 120 plus. But realistic case is he might stay on the bench for the season. And then it's like, why would you play him more than 60 minutes if he's on the bench? It's weird to like burn a substitution for 15 minutes on Cleese Haar. So perhaps Fafita isn't such an aggressive buy, but I would still be sniffing around depending what the price is. Someone might be super low. Like if I had like Jacob Preston, for example, I would like offer Preston for Fafita because I'd rather Fafita in 60 minutes than Preston 80 on the right edge where he goes back playing right edge for Preston. But they're going to see that score from Preston and go, oh yeah, interesting. And you go, man, Fafita, he's stuck on the bench. But like, and you just lie. You just say shit like, oh, I'll take David Fafita. I really like the Titans this year. I just want to watch someone. Do you want Preston? Like, I haven't been watching the Bulldogs very much. He looks pretty good. That's how you trade. You have a narrative attached to it and you make it sound like it's not a big deal and you're like trying to get a win-win and yeah, like Fafita's on the bench. It doesn't bother me. I just really love watching the Titans this season for some reason. Do you want my fucking, I don't know, Jacob Preston or... I wouldn't give up Keon Kolomatangi, but see, this is where like it's a really good value proposition because Keon Kolomatangi, he's like, has his moments, but when they've got all the mouths to feed, he can get caught up in the mix. And I don't know, to me, he like kind of... Keon Kolomatangi, let's have a look, man. He's a weird one for me. I nearly drafted him. I don't know why. But... Kaloa. How many games did he play in last year? Oh man, he played tons of games. See, the minutes were weird, but like all these weird 80, 80, 50, 50, 60, 70, like average 63, dude. That's grim. See what I mean? Like when I said he had all these mouths to feed, I know he switched positions a bit, but like 4 scoring, 9 of 8, like he did not do much but get through work. I don't like this. 38% of his games and 39% in the last 2 years were over 60%. It's not good enough as a 2RF. So my question would be, would you trade, like Preston, I'd 100% trade for David Fafita. Kolomatangi. Why am I like not able to do this here? Wait. Yeah, this year, 65. Oh shit. See, if they see the 33 and 80 minutes is not good enough. 49, it's not even good enough. He got lucky, he got a double last week for 60. Man, I'd be trying to trade Keon Kolomatangi for David Fafita, right? And Jacob Preston. Those like tier 3 2RFs. So why did the Storm lose to St. George? Was it because the rain really evened the contest? Yeah, I think it did. The way the Storm play this then sort of different brand. They had like a really like, they had the Penrith style. Penrith stole the Storm style of like choke you out, kick to corners. That was like the Storm style of Smith and Cronk, right? Like kick to corners, have like a few like really nice attacking structures, but choke you out, be really disciplined, defend really hard, line speed, win the ruck, like dominate the ruck. Nowadays, they still do a lot of their defensive principles, are all probably pretty much the same, but in attack, it's far more explosive. We see shifts from their own half very often. We see a lot of like both sides of the ruck because of how good Hughes is. Their point scoring ability without Hughes, though, is significantly hampered, believe it or not. Like, Munster's epic, but yeah, Hughes creates a lot of attack for them. And so without Hughes in the rain against a team that's really disciplined and really drilled under Flanagan and the Dragons, I think that's why they got kind of beaten in that one. Yeah, I don't know, like, playing field sports in that torrential rain, it's absolutely like debilitating. Like, it is just so much work on your calves and like your quads and whatnot, just driving through the mud and all that. And it's obviously, yeah, you can't change directions and accelerate the same, but it's just like it's a different level of fatigue. You don't have the same like fatigue out of the humidity and the heat and whatnot, but you do have a lot physically. Now, worth a pick up with the Cowboys looking better. Man, I agree with you. I just don't trust Todd Payten. I do like Nanai as a stash. If you just, depending where you're on the ladder, depending on your bench and roster structures, I do believe in stashing him because they are going to be better and he will be, his output will improve, especially with a bit of like, he's got a bit of fire under his belly. Let me have a quick look while we're on that. Blanking. No. It's 59 and 49 minutes is epic without a try. Like 49 minutes, 60 for him. I think it's a time that you sort of stash him. I think he will be better. Like we've seen what he can do last year, 57 over 60. I froth that, obviously. His base is crap, but he's an explosive player. So if you're playing 3-2RF league, he's the world's best 3-2RF, for sure. But yeah, with Payton, he's going to like probably stick to like the gritty Kai Donald. Kai Donald had a huge defensive effort. I think it was a try saver on the weekend. That's going to really stand out in a coach's mind. But yeah, Nanai's in the Fafita. He's like Aldi Fafita, right? He's on the bench right now. His name brand is big, but his current stock is low. So he's a guy you want to try for the right price and without hampering and hamstringing your team. Try and get your hands on, in my opinion. Fafita's like the gold version of that, and then you got the bronze version, which is Nanai. And like the silver version would have been like Papali'i, like Isaiah Papali'i, but he got named on the edge, so I think that ship has sailed. I don't know if he'll play 80 though, so potentially you could try and use those tactics if you're trying to buy Isaiah Papali'i and say, you know, man, I don't know if he'll play 80, whatnot. Do you want to sell him? Do all my shopping Audi waiver? Yeah, I love it. And then, so I was just running through the game so I could like put this on Spotify for someone. You never know who we could help, fellas. So yeah, De Groot, not too fussed about him. Tony Francis, not too stressed. I mean, they could murder here, but Titans, we don't know what their variance is yet. Like they've played 3 games, 1 was bad, 2 were quite good. But they're the Titans, right? Like just when you think they're going to dominate, they'll like lose this game 40-0 or something. And until I see them not do that for like a full year, I just don't know. So yeah, don't overinvest. But yeah, hopefully your Firmas and your Tinos pop off, your Campbells and whatnot, because they should in theory. Dolphins were a little better last week. I don't know, man. It's sad as a Dolphins. I'm not like a Dolphins diehard, but I do want them to go well. I believe in expansion. I want expansion teams to go well. I want the underdogs to do well. So hoping they do better. This is an interesting one. Broncos Tigers. I think the Broncos are probably going to carve up, but the Tigers being better is so fun. I really wish they got up last weekend. My boy Terrell, he's pumping. We love it. There's nothing I want to call out here really. Stags don't really fall for it. I don't think you need to fall for Stags. Finu, don't fall for it. Luke Leilui, I kind of like the talent, but yeah, I don't know if it's not. Skelton's got the spot, so we'll just see what happens there. Seagull Storm, Lehigh, obviously. Nothing else really jumps out to me in that one that I'm that really bothered by. This will be a sick game. My mouse is tripping. This will be a good game. This Bulldogs Knights one. Fuck, can't wait for this. This will be interesting. I think the Bulldogs win, but it'd just be good to see in the Knights. I wish they had Lucas for a game like this. Like, I wish they were at more full strength. Would be awesome. Cog is a watch to get dropped. He's scaring me, man. He's not doing good things. Fletcher Sharp's the GOAT. Don't fall for the Montoya hype. Little Bronson Cherry buzz. I think he could be rostered. Definitely have a look at Bronson Cherry if you need it in your CT dubs, guys. Definitely worth a mid to low, maybe even high. Like the Dogs could go on with this. Like legit, they could legit go on with this. Just search up a name. Look at this finals run. Like New Zealand, who are not too bad this year. Sydney, who I can't rely on. Melbourne, Penrith. So it's not the best. Melbourne and Penrith are tough. I don't care what you say. Like, that's pretty tough. AS. Does that stand for Allianz or Accor Stadium? But yeah, not the best finals run, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. Cherry's a watch, guys. Keep your eyes on Cherry. Just because he's on that attacking edge at the moment. Tracy, obviously good. Schiller, I think Schiller can be owned in deep leagues. Thomas Kant is a short-term play, but we just don't know much about him, so don't put too much stock into that, guys, the Thomas Kant thing. All right, well, I think that's really it. Are there any more questions? Anything classic, trades, anything footy, like, before I shut this thing down? For those that were here and asked questions, really appreciate it. Give the video a like. It helps me a lot, obviously, and I hope you all enjoyed the statistical data from last week. I'll do tomorrow. Fingers crossed I can get that in. So that should help you out. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please chuck it a like. And final call for any questions. I feel like I had something else to say tonight, but I can't really remember. Community League update. So in our Discord, we've got Hudso's League. We'll have a quick look at the ladder. I lost this week only by 42 because of that idiot Tom Turbo. But I'm at the top with Maestro, who's 3-1. Scott, who beat me, is 3-1 too. So he's actually rolling. Paul's cruising 2-2. Backfence, Spence, Adam, and Nesta and Luke are lagging a little bit, 1-3. If we do points scored, it's Paul, who's had a bit worse luck, 2-2, but he's scoring quite well. I'm clear by 100 and a bit. Maestro's cruising. Maestro and Paul really tight. Little bit of a gap then to Luke, who's got really bad luck. With that total score and his Windross law, that's really tough for Luke. Sorry, brother. Bob, 2-2. Yeah, so Paul, Nesta, and Spence have had their bad luck. Just quickly have a look who I've got this week. So I've got Nesta this week. I'll see what the matchup is. I don't know if I'll start Starling. Egan's looking real. Oh, Egan's on bye, so I will start. Never mind. Gagai captain. He's missing Edwards. Moses, poor guy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit scared of Fafita, but yeah, no. And Lehigh. He probably ends up captaining Lehigh, I reckon. But yeah, I'm backing the boys in this week. How was Latrell? He's just, even though it shouldn't matter with Grant come back. So, oh, I didn't really speak about him historically, but yeah, he was really good. Yeah. I don't know how to like that's years ago now. This doesn't even go back, but yeah, don't even worry. He was cruising. He doesn't have it here. Probably do it like this. Oh. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be here, Mitchell. Oh, it is. Yep. Yeah, 60. This is when he came online. 64. I probably went back a little too far. Like, not, look, 129, 103, 117, 75, 148. Like, yeah, he's good. He's fine. All right, that's going to do it then. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Any last questions before I call this thing? Doesn't look like it. All right, guys. Stay tuned for tomorrow's statistical data. Should be tomorrow. If it, like, worst case scenario, it's Thursday morning or something. But yeah, should be tomorrow night. Thanks so much, team. See you guys.